Welcome to the Jeremiah Show. Welcome back, I should say. My special guest today, Jake Shimabukuro. His new album is Grateful. You just heard it. It's actually still playing. It's ringing in your ears, isn't it? We came in. I'm going to need help with this one, but I love the title, and I think there's got to be a story there. Eyes of the Iwi.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Eyes
I
of the
say?
EEV. Yeah, EEV. It's actually a native Hawaiian bird that's endangered right now, and it's yeah. So, but yeah, it was a part of a much bigger project, and it was another collaborative project with a couple of friends of mine who were they weren't musicians, but one is an abstract painter. Her name is Christy Fujiyama Cosmides, and
Mm-hmm.
another is a videographer and photographer. His name is Tracy Niimi, and they're both based in Hilo on the Big Island, on Hawaii Island. And I had written the song for a project that we were doing for an installation, a five piece art installation over at the Hilo airport. And so the song kind of brings attention to the EEV bird and all the native Hawaiian birds that are endangered, and also just to kind of capture the diversity of Hawaii Island. With from the volcanoes to the ocean to the rainforest, and and even the the snow on Mauna Kea. It's like all those things. So.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds great. Is there somewhere that the listener can go to if they wanted to help in any way that you
Oh,
recommend?
yeah. Well, I mean, we are actually getting ready to launch a music video, to kind of for the
Okay.
campaign. Um, but so that'll be out soon.
So,
But anytime you fly into Hilo, yeah, if you when you get to the Hilo airport, you just look in that lobby and you'll see these five panels going across the top that are absolutely beautiful, just stunning. There's one that depicts the whale in the ocean. There's one that depicts the Eevee birds. One that depicts the Akaka Falls, the waterfalls. I mean,
mm,
they're absolutely
now
beautiful.
you've given me another reason to come back.
Yes, you need to come
Not that I needed one. To
back.
come back. Jake's currently on tour in support of his most recent album, Grateful, which we're listening to throughout this interview. And for more information and tour dates, go to Jake's website, jakeshimabukuro.com. It's spelled last name SHIMABUKURO.com. And you find out all the things that he's up to, and you can get the music and follow along when this video comes out. Look out for it. I'm really eager to look at that. This is your first time, Jake, recording an album with all Hawaii-based artists. What what called you within, yourself to return to your roots at
Oh,
this time?
I mean, honestly, it's something that I've always wanted to do, like I said, it's just, just I think I'm always that type of person. Like I never want to impose on someone else, Like I'm the worst. Like my
But look at all the artists that you have. That didn't happen on you did all that, right? Like how did you get you're working with such great artists. So you must impose somehow.
I
You're
know, but
brave.
it's so hard. Like I'm always like, it's just it's probably the most awkward conversation, like when I'm talking with someone, just like, oh, hey, yeah, so I'm kind of working on this. It's like one of those. It's like get to the point, But it's so hard for me to ask, and it's
You
just
gotta be so good at it because look at the people that are on your that you play with. Don't you pinch
I
yourself and say, you must have done that. So you must be better than you
I
think you are.
I pinch
You
myself.
pretend like you have an airline seat next to somebody.
There's
You're pretty
a lot of
good.
planning, I have to like, yeah. Okay, you gotta make sure my seat is right next to him. But I have to look surprised. No one can know that I know that I'm sitting next to him. No, but I mean honestly, no, I'm very fortunate where, I think I have a really wonderful team that I work with, a great manager and agent, and just a good team around me, that really helps me to spearhead these projects. I mean, even the album that you mentioned earlier with Willie Nelson and all of that. I mean, that would not have happened if it weren't for my manager Van Fletcher, and us working with Ray Benson, who also helped co-produce that record. I mean, Ray Benson was just, he was such a, like, man, just such a, he really believed that I needed to do this record. And he went out, and the first person he called was Willie Nelson, and he said, hey, I'm working with, this guy, Jake Shimabukuro, on the ukulele. We want you guys to do a song together. And a month later, we're in the studio recording Stardust, and so naturally, once you get someone like Willie Nelson
Yeah.
on the project, then it's a lot easier to ask other people, right? So, but
But
I
it's
mean,
not your favorite thing to do, huh? You don't feel like
I'm
in
always
case
too. I
someone
just never
calls.
have the confidence to just come out and be like, hey, come do this song with me. But Jimmy Buffett, going back to him, I mean, he was really the guy that kind of took me under his wing, early on. I mean, back in 2005, he brought me out on tour with them, for the Salty Piece of Land tour, and I toured with him off and on for like 3 or 4 years, and he was just he really believed in me, and really helped. I was on his record label, as well, and he
It's so sad to have lost him
wanted
this
to was
year.
yeah, it's still hard to believe that he's gone, but it's yeah,
Well,
so
you
very,
carry
very fortunate.
on their music, right? I mean, that's part of the gift and part of the honoring of these people that have influenced you. You can carry on the music, and you're so gifted at that. You were just in Santa Barbara, I found out, with on Kenny Loggins' last tour ever at the Santa Barbara Bowl final night, and I missed it with Michael
Uh,
McDonald. Yeah, and so you were just here a couple days ago. You missed
yeah, it was
it.
his This Is It tour, and I guess, yeah, he's kind of this was he said this was his last tour, and that was his last show. So yeah, it was a very special, very emotional. I have to say, it was a very emotional night. I mean, and for me,
Yeah,
it was so special. I was so honored when he called me, to be a part of that concert. We did one of his songs called "Why Not," that was also written with Georgia Middleman and Gary Burr. They had a band together back in the day, and it's a beautiful song that we recorded on that Friends record together. And we also did "House at Pooh Corner." I tell you, man, it was just, oh, it was so special. That was my first time being at one of his live concerts. I've been a huge fan, but
yeah.
I've always just listened to his records and maybe saw some videos, but first time hearing him live, and he was spectacular, man. I mean, it was so cool. Like you said, Michael McDonald came out when they did their duets. It was like, wow, man, so powerful. Kevin Bacon was there.
Oh
The Bacon
God.
Brothers played with him, and of course Kevin came out for Footloose, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it was such a special night, man. I'm so honored to have been there and to have been a part of that. I mean, he's such an icon, man. One of the
Mhm.
greatest songwriters, producers of all time.
Yes, he is. Well, Kenny, if you're out there listening, I'm sorry I missed the show. Where was the new album Grateful 22 collaboration again with the who's who of Hawaiian music royalty. Um, this album was recorded over three and a half years, and again we can catch up with you on tour. How many do you know how many cities you're visiting? Because it looks like a lot.
Yeah,
Not Santa Barbara though. I'm not sure why
yeah,
you're
we
not
we were
coming
in
to
Santa
Santa
Barbara.
Barbara.
Yeah, we were in Santa Barbara earlier this year.
Okay.
We did about close to 90 shows, I think, this year, 2023. So
Wow.
this
So
this
you're on the
last
road a
part of
lot.
the year, this last part of the year would just kind of be our holiday tour, which I always look forward to every year. So it'll be a lot of fun. And my buddy Justin Kavika Young, who sang on this latest record, who wrote the title track, Grateful, he'll be out on the road with us, you know, to sing a few Christmas songs as well as some of his original pieces. And he's a great, I mean, you got to look him up too, man. We started out playing music around the same time, you know, in Hawaii, but he went out, he played with Kobe Calais for many, many years. And then they started a band called Gone West. And it's a beautiful, beautiful record. But it was him and Kobe Calais and two of their other great singer-songwriter friends. But uh, but yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
stoked to be out on the road with him, man. It's gonna be a fun tour.
I love that there are 22 really great songs in this album because you can put it on and listen and it really will change your day and your mood and your life. It's a great, great album. We got to take another quick break. We're going to come back just to say goodbye because I know you got to go pick up your kids, Jake. We're premiering Piano Forte and Jake's website, jakeshimabukuro.com. Social media, I'm going to give you another one. Go to YouTube at Jake Shimabukuro and on X. Yeah, they're both Jake Shimabukuro. And there's also Jake Shimabukuro Music on TikTok. He's currently on tour in support of his most recent album, Grateful. For more information, tour dates, go to jakeshimabukuro.com. And we will be right back. Final segment.